Upgrading your bike will cost you money, but the right upgrades can save you up to 50 watts and serious time on race day. That's roughly 25 minutes for a 5-hour Ironman bike leg. In this video, I'll show you the 5 proven bike changes that deliver real speed gains so you know exactly where to invest your money for the biggest payoff. I'm Coach Rob Wilby from Team Oxygenaddict. Let's get to it. Now, before we jump in, if you're preparing for your first Ironman this year, there's a link in the show notes for a free online training seminar I've done. It's 30 minutes of your time that I guarantee will massively increase your chances of success on Ironman race day. Now, here are 5 bike upgrades you can make that are going to significantly save you time. Number 1, proper aero positioning on the bike. Now here we're looking at between 25 and 35 watts saved when we compare it against somebody riding a road bike sitting up on the hoods. So firstly, adding clip-on bars to a road bike is going to save you about 20 watts worth of drag. If you then move from a road bike with clip-on tri-bars to riding a TT bike, that's going to save about another 5 watts. This is information that's come from wind tunnels. And then on top of this, having a very good TT bike fit and optimizing the position, and most crucially, learning to hold the optimized position could save up to another 10 watts. We add those together and we're in the region of a 35 watt saving just by moving from sitting upright on a road bike to being in a really good position down on a well-fitted time trial bike. So again, it's going to cost money, but there's massive savings to be made there. Next upgrade is deep section wheels. Now here the information suggests that moving from standard road wheels to about a 60mm wheel is going to be in the region of 10 to 15 watts worth of drag saved. Individual wheels vary here, and in the information that I looked at from wind tunnel testing, there was about a 5 watt difference between the very best performing 60mm wheel and the worst performing 60mm wheel. So we're somewhere in that 10 to 15 watts worth of saving. Now, obviously you can go to deeper wheels. You can go to 80 or 90mm wheels. You can have a disc wheel on the back and there will be increased but incrementally small gains from having those on. The biggest win here is to get yourself onto a set of 50 to 60mm carbon wheels. That's really going to reduce the drag that you've got. There doesn't seem to be a correlation between spending more on the deeper section wheels. There is a correlation slightly to the deeper section. So the deeper the wheel goes, the faster it's going to be. But the returns are reduced after that 60mm level. And also it's going to be much harder to handle the bike in crosswinds if you get much above 50 or 60mm. So for me, I think the sweet spot is a 60mm deep section wheel, and we're looking at that 10 to 15 watt saving. Now, the third saving, this was a big eye opener for me, is race tires and the way we set them up. Moving to a good race tire from a standard winter endurance tire is going to be in the realm of 10 watts per tire saved in the amount of drag and rolling resistance. There's even more extreme tires that were giving 13 or 14 watts per tire saving. But again, there's a reduction in the amount of puncture protection you get as you go to more and more extreme tires. But with a really good tire like a Conti 5000 race tire, we're looking at a 9 or 10 watt saving compared to one of the Conti winter tires that they compared it against. So there's instantly an 18 to 20 watt gain there just by changing your tires over. If you then swap over to running tubeless as opposed to running a standard inner tube, the gains there are about 5 watts extra per wheel as well. So again, now we're into the realms of 30 watts saved. So again, this is getting to be massive. And then information from Silca on their website suggests that optimizing tire pressure can be up to an 8 watt gain. So either much too hard or much too soft, it's obviously going to be really bad. But by optimizing that, the correct pressure for you and your weight, there's a few extra watts to be saved here. So we're looking in the region here of a 30 watt saving just by changing tires, running them tubeless and having them set up at the correct pressure for you. I was really surprised by the amount of time we're talking about. That 30 watt saving is going to be in the realms of 15 minutes off your bike leg for a 5-hour Ironman bike leg, which is amazing. Now, next up, water bottles and considering a between the arms hydration setup. The savings here are between 5 to 20 watts, but we have to be careful how we quantify this. There's great information here on the website by the company Absolute Speed. They're making an aero add-on that allows you to have either 1 or 2 bottles that sit between your arms as you ride in the time trial position. But their claimed wattage savings are based around removing the round bottles off the down tube. And here's the challenge. If you're racing Ironman or 70.3, you're going to have a way to carry your fluids with you. But it looks like there's somewhere in the region of an 8 to 10 watt penalty for having round bike bottles on the bike frame on either the down tube or the seat tube. It looks like the penalty, if you like, for having it behind the saddle is about 5 watts. And having the bottle between your arms can even be up to a 10 watt saving if it closes that gap between your arms. So the numbers here are going to be different for different people, but in the perfect world, run a setup where you don't have any bottles on the frame. You have a single bottle behind the saddle and you have 2 bottles between your arms. You've got plenty of options to carry your bottles there, and you don't have to have anything on the frame messing up the wind. So do with that information as you will. There is somewhere in the region of 5 to 20 watts worth of drag to be gained by optimizing your bottle positions there. And lastly, our 5th tip, and this one is basically free, is to have a really clean, well-oiled or well-waxed chain and drive chain. So a lot of us don't give any thought to this. Get this, there's up to a 10 watt saving to be had just in the efficiency of your drive chain, just by changing to have a new clean chain on your bike for race day, compared to one that's covered in grime and oil and dirt. Up to 10 watts, that's 5 minutes off your Ironman bike time for having that new clean chain. So again, something to really think about there. Add all of those up together, and they're not all going to work on top of each other like a complete stack, but there's in the region of 50 watts to be saved there in a reasonable and best case scenario. You know, the tires and the tubes and the correct pressure setup there alone is a massive, massive saving before even people think about going on to optimizing their aero position. So there's a lot of free speed to be had. There's a lot of extra speed to be had, not very expensively. And then if you want to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds, you can absolutely do that. But when you think moving from a road bike setup with TT bars on to a TT bike with TT bars on, we're only looking in the realms of a 5 to 10 watt saving. The 30 watts you can get by optimizing your tires is massive for the amount of money it's going to cost. Lots of things to think about there, and lots of ways you can hack massive amounts of time off your Ironman race day without needing to be any fitter. That's the key thing here. So look, I hope this has helped you. In the comments below, I'd love to hear about effective changes that you might have made in the past and the kind of time savings or wattage savings that you saw from doing that. That'll really help the community out. If you're totally new to this, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what we've said in this video and things you're going to go away and change about your bike setup. Remember, I'd love it if this has been helpful to you. Please like the video and please subscribe to our channel.